Hello, hello. Welcome to 10 Minutes with Todd. That's me at Beyond 615. All right, so much of Christian music is either written, mixed, sung, produced in the 615, right? So that is Nashville, Tennessee's area code. And so this is all about honoring and celebrating those who are in the process of making that music to the end product, which is radio, one of the end products. And so inviting someone from the Christian music industry to join me, but we only have 10 minutes to talk because I don't want to waste anybody's time. This is episode 3, and I hope he is requesting to join live. Real quick, hit that button, man. Today's guest is morning show host at the Pulse FM in South Bend, Indiana, home of the Notre Dame Fighting Illini. He's also the host of the What Else podcast and artist extraordinaire. I mean, if you've not seen this guy draw, we're going to talk about that. His name is Corey Mann.
Waiting. There we go. Oh, I got to adjust my camera. There we go. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Not bad. Is that your home studio?
This is my wife's studio.
Nice.
It's a number of years ago. This is where she cuts hair out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
We took up half of the garage and gave her a little one-seater. And so she cuts hair in here and works from the house.
Kind of feel like she did your hair recently.
She gave me the nice high and tight just yesterday, Todd.
Dude, I love the high and tight. Okay, dude, we got 10 minutes. I'm going to say a phrase, and I'd love for you to respond, talk about what comes to mind when you hear the phrase.
Okay.
First one, morning person or night owl?
Morning person by trade and the schedule that I have to keep. The alarm clock goes off at 3:30 a.m. every day, no matter what.
But you're really a night owl, right?
Back in the day I was, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm in bed at 8:30, a hard 8:30.
All right. So you got an hour and a half before bedtime.
Yeah, dude. Countdown.
When you're doing morning radio and you know that alarm is coming at 3:30, been there, done that, it's almost stressful, the amount of preparation that you have to do before you get into bed and try to be asleep.
Yeah, you try to shut your head off quicker at night. So, you might go to bed at 8:30. Does that mean you fall asleep at 8:30? Luckily for me, pretty close because I'm whipped. It's been a long day. So, but yeah, turning it off so you can rest is always a difficult task.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't miss those days. But man, to be doing what you're doing for so long at the same station is so admirable. And having the longevity and even in the shift that you're doing, you've got to have super fans. And I don't know, calling that town home for how many years is just, God's just kept you there, right?
Yeah. I grew up about 45 minutes north of here in St. Joe, Benton Harbor, Michigan. And in 1991, I got an offer to work at the big mainstream station in town and took that job. And that was my first job outside of living at home. And South Bend has been very good to me. Home of the Fighting Irish.
Oh, did I say Illini? Did I say Illini? What am I doing?
That's all right. They had a much better run in basketball than this town ever did. And then I came to Pulse FM in 2009, and I've been there since. Yeah, a couple of opportunities have come and gone, but I'm well taken care of. I know the market, raised 2 kids here. Yeah, I'm just well taken care of. So
there's something to be said about that. I work with a station that people have been there for 30 years. To me, that's like, that would be kind of cool. I don't know. So I admire you putting down roots, and not only for your family, but for the listening audience there.
Yeah, there's been a number of times when someone's called in and the shock factor of man, when I was in middle school, I used to listen to you. It's like,
We're old, man.
and
We're
now,
old.
and now my kids are, it's like, oh, wow. I believe in loyalty, though. My resume reads, a decade at each place. And yeah, so.
The thing that's wild that I always think about with you, and especially since social media kind of has exploded, you've got a podcast. You are an amazing artist, drawer. We'll talk about that here in a second. But you had to get into the podcast space, and I know you're passionate about talking with people who make the music. So your podcast, it's called What Else with Corey Mann?
Yes.
Tell me about how that started and why you chose to do that.
Sure. It was either a consultant or maybe I was at an event and we were just talking about artist interviews on the radio, and somebody threw some numbers and some testing and some research that, people don't want to hear that, or they want to hear it in smaller chunks. And you know what? I love to talk. And I think I bought into that, those segments need to be short on the air and kind of, reined in a little bit. But it's like, where can you go to have a conversation and let things air out? Podcast world. So I met with Aaron and Danae at a CMB event a handful of years ago, and they kind of pitched me on this network they were creating. And I said, okay, what do I have to do? And we walked through it. And the one thing I didn't get about podcasting, Todd, was how to push it out to all the different outlets. I completely honestly, I still don't know how they do that. I let them do that. And so episode 121.5 comes out tonight at midnight. Bart with Mercy Me, kind of coinciding with their new album. And usually I drop a new episode every Monday. And it's a lot of work, but it's a passion project. And then I've got another podcast that I co-host with a friend of mine here in town, and he is a sports Rain Man, and he's a local legend, TV legend here in town. And the niche of that, which I think all podcasts should have a niche, he knows a lot about sports. I know nothing about sports. So imagine you and your buddies who know a lot about sports at at a backyard barbecue, and that one guy walks up and he's like, now what's a extra point again? That's me. That's me. Like, what are the rules in overtime now? That's me. And so that's how the podcast works. And that one's called Sports Yak, and we're 300 plus episodes into that. And, we're a South Bend Cubs affiliate, Notre Dame, all the sports there. So I have a lot of access to that. And, podcasting is fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to the artists. I love talking to them about their craft. And then, of course, hence the title, what else are they passionate about? And we get into that.
Amazing. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Are you making money podcasting?
Not a dime.
Huh.
I pay money to podcast.
Which is crazy because there's money out there, man. There's money out there, and I don't know how to get it either.
Can you turn that light back on? Sorry, my son turned my light off. Thank you.
That's great.
I don't know how to do that, and I don't unfortunately have the time to do that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Is this a PG Instagram or PG-13?
Why is that?
You know what? I'll share that with you off of this. I gotta share something with you I got today in my DMs, and it was just like, oh.
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, it's so crazy, Todd. Anyway, sorry.
All right, we'll share about that, and if it's applicable, either you'll post it or I'll post the thread of what we said back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get on Instagram, and there you are again. You used to draw a lot on pen and paper or marker drawers, pencils and paper. Now you're drawing on this iPad, and it's just unbelievable. I sit there mesmerized watching you bring to life lines that turn into Spider-Man.
Thank you.
Are you making money doing that?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And you did a book too. You had a book with a teddy bear.
Yeah, I did a book. It feels like a lifetime ago. It was 4 years ago. It was called Stuffed, and it was based on a bear that comes to life, like a Build-A-Bear. and he's got the stitches in his head and on his stomach, and he only spoke in puns, and he was a third grader, and I did a Kickstarter campaign that was fully funded in 4 days.
Wow.
And what a journey that was to, hit the send button to the printing company, and it went overseas, and then there's this 8 weeks of like dead air, and then all of a sudden a truck pulls up to the house with these flats, and here's your 500 books, and then you send all the Kickstarter packages out, and then I hit all the local bazaars, holiday bazaars. I timed it. I couldn't have timed it better. A Christmas gift, and I used my radio, whatever, to go, hey, come see me at the thing, and sold a bunch of books and made a stuffed animal that went with it. And then a lady got a hold of the book whose son had went through multiple heart surgeries. And when he opened up the book, Todd, and he saw the bear with the stitches, he's like, oh, that bear is like me. He's had issues. And I'm like, between that mom and I'm like, that's not what I was thinking. But if he sees that, fine.
Yeah.
She ended up buying all the rest of my books through her nonprofit and sent them to the University of Michigan. And those books for about 150 books were the kids' welcome package to their surgery or their stay at the University of Michigan, a little welcome book. And I would have never, ever, ever thought that was going to happen with that book. And that was quite a ending to that season. So
it's interesting. We're out of time, by the way, and I forgot to set my watch. Daggone it! But
sorry.
I can see the time on our thing. And to respond to that, I recently met with someone. He's probably half my age, and we were just talking about God, and he got from New Zealand to America. I should actually talk to him on here. The stories are amazing, and just the stuff that he feels like God called him to do. And we were just talking about control and dreaming. And he finally said to God, I won't dream as big as you. I'll screw it up somehow. I'll dream too small. And so just to see, you did this book, you had, expectations that probably weren't as big as what happened. And for me, it's like, okay, where's book number 2, man? If God did that, where's book number 2?
Sophomore Slump. I wrote it and I drew it. It's on my phone right now. And I did it. I started the day I hit the send button on the first book, and I've been deathly afraid to send it out. And then in the middle of that, I did a third book with a whole new group of characters, and it's about a dog and a snowman and their best friends. And through all the humor of the book, Todd, it deals with loss because the snowman goes away when spring comes, and how to deal with loss when a friend leaves. And that whole book is on the iPad, and I'm just
okay.
So many excuses.
Yeah, if you're watching this now, like this, tag Corey. Let's encourage him to get one of these books out here this year, right?
Oof. Yeah, it would take some work, but how about another project? Let's go ahead and do that. Sure.
Now, someone like you, man, you've got all this. I don't know how you get to sleep at night at 8:30 or try to doing the morning show. You got all this stuff. Health that the world needs to hear and see. So go do it.
You're right. It's that easy, and it's halfway done. But I'm just dragging my feet.
Yeah, I get it. You're busy. You have fears. I think we all deal with that.
Sophomore slump.
Well,
no one's ever heard that second Counting Crows record.
I'm surprised sophomore slump, because that's a sports term.
Oh, that's not a rock and roll term, a music term.
I guess it is.
Album?
No, that is, yeah. And quarterbacks usually get the sophomore slump too. If they have a good rookie year, and then they come back. But yeah, the sophomore album. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, dude, thanks for taking the time, and I just wanted for helping me grow what I'm doing here, this 10 minutes with Todd. And I just thought, man, I saw you on a Zoom call the other day. We were on a record label call with an artist, and I was like, I got to talk to him. I got to talk to Corey.
Thank you for the invite, and
Yep.
anytime.
And why don't you yell to your son he can turn the light off now?
Lights off! Lights off!
All right, man. Thank you. Take care.
Todd, have a great night. Thanks.
All right.